Today we are learning collections. Um, so collections, this is a special data type yenye ina allow mtu kuweka more than one thing. Okay, let me create a new file. Let me call it. Okay, so tunasema collections is a special data structure that holds multiple values. Si tumesoma like other data tumesoma other data types kama integers, strings, na tumeona kwa hizo data types you can only place one value. Kama ni int unaweza sema tu int num is equals to 10. You can't put more than one number ama you can't put more than one string. I hope that makes sense. So collections is a special data structure that enables you to hold multiple values. And some of these collections, I guess hadi tumeziona kwa assignment, kuna lists, kuna maps na kuna sets. So tunaweza anzia na list. Na list inakuanga a list is a collection that holds items in an ordered manner, like okay, for those of us who are doing IT related courses ama computer science ama nini, unajua like an array is like a list of things ama an arrangement of items, if that makes sense. So a list is an ordered collection of elements ama items. Wacha tutaona nini example. Wacha niandike tu ordered collection of items. Haya, so let's get into writing a list. So list, ukiandika list tunajua unaanzia na the name list, alafu una specify whatever you'll be having in your list. Kama sisi sasa tunataka kutengeneza a list with strings, ama the data type of our list will be strings, then we can call our list maybe names. Is equals to, when you write a list unafaa uweke square brackets. You have to use square brackets. That's a rule. So this is how you write a list. You write the name list and then the data type of whatever will be contained in your list. So come up a string and then the name of the list, which is names, for example. So hapa tunaweza different names. Tunaweza andika Stanley, tunaweza andika Favored, tunaweza andika maybe John, tunaweza andika pia maybe Joel. So hii list yetu iko na four items hapa na ni the names, na tumeita names, meaning that tukitaka kuprint hii list yetu tunaweza iprint tu hivi, print names I think nimemake a mistake, which is kutoweka all this in void main. Sorry. So unafaa uiweke ndani ya void main. That's a rule that I keep on forgetting. But anyway, so unafaa uziweke everything in void main. So hapa tumetengeneza a list na tunataka ku print. So we can run and see what will happen. So tunaona imetuprint here the 4 names inside the square brackets. But then let's say I just want to print the name John peke yake. So if I want to print the name John, I will write print, and then I will write the name of the list, which is names, and then I will use a square bracket to specify the what item I want to print here. So kama akigai, mbona nimesahau hiyo jina? Let me Google. Oh, what I was trying to say is index. Sorry. So let's say we want to print maybe John. So you're going to use an index that represents the third item in the list. So I hope kama mtu anajua the basics, kama mtu amesoma the basics, unafaa kuwa unajua what indexes are. Indexes ni a number given to each item in a collection ama in a list. So for example, this first item ni index 0. Indexes inaanzanga from 0. The first item itapewa index 0, the second itapewa index 1, the third itapewa index 2, the fourth itapewa index 4. So I hope hiyo ina make sense. So kama tunataka kuprint the first item, which is Stanley, tutaweka index 0. So tuone penye itafanya. Mbona hairan kama ni misi? Oh, so ndio hii imeprint Stanley. Tukitaka maybe the last item in this list, utakuja count. So in index 0, in index 1, in index 2. So hii hapa ni index 3. So index 3 ndio ita to print here the name Joel, which is the last one in the list. So naona imeprint Joel. So that's how you print specific items in a list. So simeelewa hiyo ni using indexes to print a specific item. Okay, so after that maybe we want to add items in the list. So tuweke adding items. So if you want to add an item, maybe in this list we can see names, and then we're going to use a method. Methods are like inbuilt functions that are built like inside this language yenyewe. Sasa kwa hii language kuna venye unaweza add an item in a list, and we use the method add. So when you use the method add, we're going to specify what we're going to add. So kama tuseme tunataka kuadd maybe let's say Patricia in the list. So tuone. So tunataka ku add the name Patricia, alafu sasa to print tuone kama imeadd na imeadd wapi and everything. So si ukiangalia this last one imeadd to the last place, imeadd the name Patricia, but then we might want to add items in a specific position. So if you want to add items in a specific position, we're going to use the method insert. So kama hapa, maybe you want to insert, maybe you want to add a value, and we want it to be in, tunataka ikuwe after hapa kwa favored. So uta specify the index that you want it to be in. Si hapa tumesema Stanley ni index 0, then favored ni index 1. So hii hapa yenye itafuata inafaa ikuwe index 3. So ndio tuta specify hiyo index, itaenda kwa hiyo index 3, and then whatever value we want to add, let's say maybe princess. So yeah, then we can print. So tuone. So ukiangalia hapa imeadd princess kwa index 3. Si tumeona in index 1, in index 0, in index 1, in index 2. So ika add hapa kwa index 3. So I hope ina make sense. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. If you want to add an item in a specific position, you use insert and then you specify the index you want it to be in, and then whatever value you want to add. So that's basically it for adding items, and you can also remove items from a list. So if you want to remove, you can use a method called remove, which is pretty simple. So names dot remove, and then you're supposed to specify the value. So let's say we want to remove maybe Patricia. So unaweza fanya hivyo, then now we can print. So that's so unaona sasa kwa the second one wametoa the name Patricia. So that's how you remove an item. You can also remove an item using the index. So names dot remove, then you specify, then inside the brackets you specify the index you want to remove. So for example, let's say we want to remove let's say Stanley, which is index 0, since it's the first item. So you just specify the index, and then now let's see kama itakuwa removed. Okay, itakuwa removed. How come? Oh, I think I made a mistake. If you want to remove from a specific, there's another method. a specific index. So hiyo method si remove, inaitwa remove at this one. So it has remove at and then you specify that index. Yeah, I think I made a mistake over there, but let's see if it will work. Yeah, so tunaona imetoa the first item which is Stanley from the list. And then another thing you can do to a list, you can loop through a list. For example, maybe tunataka kuprint for every name, tunataka kuprint maybe my name is, and then ipeane a name. So unaweza loop through it through the for loop. Alafu inside the bracket utaspecify, inside the bracket utaandika utasema variable name in names. Hii inamaanisha like for each item here in this list, sorry, see names. So inamaanisha for every item in this list names, for every name in this list names, itafanya whatever we specify inside here. So for example, you can decide to print my name is, and then $sign name. So in $sign name itakuja ichukue for every item inside that list itachukua from the first value to the last value in that order. So let's see what it will, let's just see it practically tuone. So let's run the code. So tunaona like for each value in this list, for each item in this list imeenda iki-print out one by one in that order. So unaona my name is Favored, John, Princess, Joel. So that's how you loop through a list. You use the for loop and then you say for the var is to specify a variable, and so you remember we say that var ni unatumianga var kama hautaki kuspecify the data type. So hapa for default purposes ama like normally we're supposed to use var here. So even if we want to maybe create a list of numbers, let's create a list of numbers. So tutatumia int tutatumia, and then let's call it, what can we call it? Let's say numbers, but let's call it nums is equals to, and then we use a square bracket, then maybe 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we can also loop through this. Tunaweza sema for into brackets var num in nums tunaweza sema let's just try like something hard. So let's call a variable int sum is equals to num plus 5. Then print the sum is $sign sum. So let's try and do this one. Let's see if it will work. So kwa hii part, what I wanted to do is I want to see if we loop through this list itatuprintia the sum of each of them. So kama 11 plus 5 itakuwa 16, 12 plus 5 itakuwa 17. So we want to see if it will work. So let's see. Sinaona imekuja 16, 17, 18, 19 na 20. So yeah, that's just basically it. To loop through a list tumesema tunatumia var, alafu kama ukiname a list, it's advisable you name it in plural. So kama ni var numbers uandike var numbers, kama ni var names uandike list names, sorry. Then now when you specify in the for loop, you just write var and then the singular of it without the s, and then in the name of that list, then you specify what you want to do, and it will loop through each of the values in that list. So I hope that is clear. And I think, yeah, I think we don't have anything else in list, and we can go to another type of collection. The other type of collection is maps. So let's create a new file. So let's call it maps.dart. So void name, so a map is basically a way of storing key value pairs. It is used to store data in key value pairs. So stores data in key value pairs. What this means is, let's say you want to store maybe, let's say you have a shop and you want to keep track of the number of items you have in stock. So for example, maybe you have, okay, let's do it practically. So to write a map, you have to start with the keyword map, and then you specify the data. Since your key value pairs inamaanisha like una store the key and the value. Kama tuseme ni unga, unasema unga ni 20, Colgate ni 5, mandazi ni 10. Like you have to, it has two things you're storing, the key and the value. So let's say string and int, and then let's call it maybe items. When you're writing maps, you use curly braces, and then you use what, yeah, you use that. And then let's start with unga. Let's say you have unga, and maybe you have 20 items of unga. Then you use a comma to go to the next key value. So unaona like everything is stored in key value pairs. So unga lazima iendanishe na the value which is 20. Kama ni maybe what else? Let's call it maybe, let's say padlock. So many 15. add another item, maybe let's say toothpaste. Sorry. So in this, okay, let's use this one. This one is enough. So hapa tumesema map stores data in key value pairs. So as you can see, in each of them kuna a key na kuna a value, a key and a value, a key and a value, a key and a value. So that's basically what maps are and how they are used. And if we want to print them out, we can say print items. So let's see what this will do. So you see in a print the map itself, unga, whatever, ina specify each of them. But maybe we want to print one of them, like maybe you just want to print toothpaste, we just want to print that value toothpaste. So we can just say print items, and then we use a square bracket to specify what we want to print. So in this case we want to print the value of toothpaste only. So itakuja hii print itakuja kwa items, then ikuje kwa toothpaste ichukue the value of it, which is 5. So that's what we expect it to print. Let's see if it will work. Sinaona ita print 5. Yeah, so that's how you print a specific value in an in in a map, sorry. And then if you want to, let's say you want to add items, oh. Let's say you want to add items in this map. To add items utakuja useme the name of the map, which is items, and then you'll use a, what do we call it, square bracket. You use a square bracket, and let's say we add eggs is equals to, then you write the value of it. So let's say we have 30 eggs in the shop. So let's now see if our map will be updated. So tutasema to print items, tuone kama ita add. Sinaona ime add kwa the list. So hii hapa ni pretty simple. Unasema tu the name of the map, then the key you want to add and the value of it unaispecify hapo. So that's basically it for adding items. To remove items from a map, you'll just use the remove whatever, the remove method, sorry. So utasema items dot remove, and then sorry, you'll specify what you want to remove. So for example, let's maybe remove unga. Good. Okay, sorry, you have to use a let's now print the items again so that you can see if whatever we have done has been executed in our code. So kama hapa unaona imetoa unga. So yeah, working. And then yeah, that's basically it for maps. I don't think there's anything else. I'm not sure if, because I don't think there is, but I'm not sure if you can use indexes over here. But I highly doubt. Indexes are mostly used in lists or sets. I don't know. Yeah, indexes are mostly used in sets, but let's see. Let's see if it can work. Maybe print. I don't know if it will work, but let's see if it can work. You see, in a letter null, meaning that it can't really work. Indexes cannot be used in maps. Yeah, so if you want to access a value, if you want to print a value, you have to specify what key it has. To access a value, you have to specify the key. So I hope you got clear. I hope you got clear. Um, yeah, that's basically it for maps. Oh yeah. Stanley ameandika kwa chat. I hope we are coding along. I hope you are coding along because that's the only way you will learn. You can't learn by just looking or by just following through. You have to do it practically. Yeah. So I think the last thing we're going to do is sets. Um, so sets is the last type of collection that I know of. I think there are others like Q and yeah, I think there are others, but you can do your own research with that one because that's more let's say on the complex side. Sitaguzia hiyo leo, but you can go do your own research because there is there are other types of collections. So sets hiyo ndio tutafanya leo as the last type of collection. A set is basically, and what can I say? A set is an unordered collection of unique values. That means that it can only be used to store unique values. That means that you can't repeat items in a set. Okay, let me just write it out and show it practically. So tumesema a set is an unordered sorry, collection of unique values. And let me give an example. So for example, you can have a set and then you have to specify the data type. So set, let's say int, then let's call this one numbers is equals to 1, 2, 3 and 3. Let's give that as an example. And then let's try to print it out. Print numbers. Wait, oh, nimesahau tena, sorry. Control X. You have to write your code in void main. um yeah, yeah, let's see what will happen. So si mnaona like after tumesema print the set, imeprint to 1 2 na 3, haija print the 2 3s we have specified over here. So a set can only be used to store unique values. You can only store one of each. For example, if no matter how many times you repeat one ama two ama three, it will only print one of it. It cannot repeat values ama you cannot repeat two similar values. Kama ingekuwa a list, acha tuone in a list ingeprint both of them. Let's see. List int, sorry, list int, and then let's call it num is equals to 1 2 3 and 3. Let's see what will happen once you print num. Sorry. Tunaona in a list unaweza print similar values mara mbili hadi tatu, but in a set you can only store one. It can only store one value. So E3 hapa tunaona hadi like inaleta an error. That means that it's a duplicate value. Yeah, change or remove the duplicate element. So sets can only have unique values. Yeah. So if we want to access a value, okay, let's just, this was just a by the way. So we can, yeah, can continue the rest of the part. Okay, so for example here we want to add an item. Okay, let's start with accessing a specific item. Okay, let's remove this duplicate element here. Situsumbue. We can just add items to our list instead. So to our set, sorry. So let's say we want to access a specific, we want to print out a specific item in our set. So utatumia print and then you write the name of the set and then you specify I think you can, yeah, bullets. No, I don't think you can. Hey, I don't really think you can use what we call it, indexing, but let's just try and see if it can work. But if you see there's an error, that means it can't work. It can't really work. Yeah, indexes can only be used on lists. That's something we need to note down. So we can't really access one value and print out one value. When we are printing out, we have to print out the whole set. I hope that makes sense. So if we want to add a value, so we want to add a value in our set, we just say numbers, which is the name of our set, dot add, and then we specify the value we want to add. Let's just say 10, and then let's print numbers to see whether it reflects in our set. Yeah, tumeona ina add the value 10. Yeah, but I think that aspect of it of a set being ordered makes it not okay. So that means you can't be able to use indexes, because indexes just means that the items are ordered in a specific manner, but sets are unordered, so you can't use indexing to access any value or to add any value to a specific place in the set, because they are unordered. I hope that makes sense. Because yeah, yeah, I hope it makes sense. So if you want to remove a value, sorry, if you want to remove, you also use then can also you also use the remove method. Sorry. So you'll specify the value you want to remove. So for example, let's remove 2. So let's print out and see. Okay, let me just copy paste. So unaona remove the value 2. So that's how you remove an item from a set. And then yeah, so that's basically it. The next thing you're going to do is set operations. I don't know if you guys have done discrete math ama discrete structures, but that's a unit in most of the IT related courses if you're doing one. And that it makes it and this is basically part of what we are taught about sets. You can merge sets together. You can um intersect sets. Okay, let's just get into the details. So for example, um we can create a set. So okay, this is just a simpler way of creating a set. You can just use the var and then specify the name of that set, and then just use the curly braces to so that this um this code can know that this A is a set. So that's why we use curly braces. Curly braces just tells the code that this is a set. So that's another way of writing sets. So you can just say 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Then you can create another set and call it B and use the values. Let's say 3, 4, maybe 6. So these are two sets, A and B, and these are the values that are contained in these sets. And then um, we want to perform different operations. So there's an operation called union. What a union does, it it takes the values from set A and the values of set B, and it merges them together. That's what it does. It just merges them together, meaning that all the values of the new set you're going to create will have all the values of set A and all the values of set B. So let's just see what I am talking about in practice. So let's say print A dot union and then the other set, which is B. So you start with the first set and then specify union, and then inside the brackets specify the other set you want the union to be done to. So this code will basically take all the values of set A and all the values of set B and include them in our new set. So let's see what it does. So unaona sasa imechukua 1, 2, 3, 4 na 6. Ukiangalia vizuri hii 3 ilikuwa mara mbili, but since tumesema a set cannot duplicate values, ama a set can't have duplicate values, meaning that means that hii 3 na hii 3 moja itatolewa, so that ikuwe 1 2 3 4 na 6 peke yake. Hawezi chukua, hawezi include both of them because they are the same. Yeah, so it can only take unique values. So yeah, that's basically it. So a union in a joinisha too, it just joins all the values of both sets. Yeah, let me just say that. Both sets. Higher. The next operation in intersection. What this does, it only takes the value that is in both of the sets. Meaning that kama hapa variable kwa hii set A na set B, ita take only the value that is in both of them. So ukiangalia kwa set A na set B, si unaona 3 like iko in both of them. So that's what intersection will do. It will only print out the value that is in both. So let's see. So itasema to print A dot intersection, and then the other set which is B, and then let's see what happens. Sinaona imeprint only 3, meaning that ina take only the value that is in the values that are in both of the sets. Yeah, so that's what intersection does. And then the other operation inaitwa difference. So what a difference basically does, it takes the value of the first set and then it compares to the second one. Then inaangalia what values in the first set haven't been repeated in the second set. So let's just see it in practice kwanza, so that you can be able to understand it more clearly. So dot difference, then when itatupea, tunaona hapa imetupea 1 na 2 peke yake. So what this code has done ni imekuja tu kwa hii set A ikasema, so si tumesema print A dot difference B, meaning that ita take all the values that are in set A but are not in set B. So it just takes all the values in the first set, all the values that are in the first set but not in the second set. So it may take all the values that are in the first set but are not in the second set. So kama tuseme hapa kungekuwa na 1, inge print out only 2 peke yake because 2 is not in the second set. Let's see it. Tunaona ime print only 2, meaning that ina print all the values that are in the first set but not in the second set. So ita compare each of the values, yone 1 iko in the second set, so I won't print that. 3 is in the second set, so I won't take that. So it will only take the value that is in the first set and not in the second set. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, and I think that's basically it for set operations. I don't think there's anything else, ama there's any other operation that I don't know of, ama that I know of. So I think I can just give a quick recap, and I hope um, hakuna mtu nimempoteza, ama kama anyone has any question unaweza niuliza tu. You can just drop a text, or you can open your mic and say something. But yeah, so let's just recap what we've done today. So tumesema collections, ama a collection is a special data structure that holds multiple values. Yeah, so it enables one to um, store multiple values. For example, a list is a type of a collection, and it stores ordered collections of items, meaning that whatever we store in a list is in a specific order. So hiyo ndio tukasema to write this is the syntax of writing a list. You start with the keyword list, which starts with a capital letter. You specify the data type, then the name of the list, which is here names, alafu is equals to, and then you use a square bracket, and then you add all your items over here, spacing them out with commas. Yeah. So ukiprint names ita print out all these. Na tumesema kwa list, since it's ordered, ndio maana tunatumia indexes. Na indexes tumesema zinaanzia from 0 as you go forward. So itakuwa 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, according to the number of items you have in the list. So kama unataka ku print a specific value in a list, you have to specify its index. Kama hapa print names 3, itakuja print the name John. Then tumeona how to add items. You can also add items in a specific position using the index. And then you can remove items. You can also remove them from a specific position using an index too. And we've also seen how to loop through. Tumesema loop through you use a for loop, and then you inside the brackets you specify a single item in that list. So for example, tunaweza sema var name in names. So itachukua a single item in that list, alafu ita loop through each of them in the order that you have written them. So that's why itaanzia my name is Stanley, my name is Favored, my name is John, my name is Joel, in that order. And then tumeona pia hii ilikuwa another example of how we use for loop to loop through each item in the list and maybe perform an operation inside. Tukaona itatupea whatever we want. So that's basically it for lists. So lists are ordered collections of items. Then the next thing we did was maps. Na tumesema maps store data in key value pairs, meaning that the data we store has a key and a value. So for example hapa unafaa specify the key using single quotes, and then you write the name of that key and then the value of it according to how you specified your data type. String int. So that's why you're using string and then the integer if and you separate the key and the value using a full colon. You have to separate them using a full colon, and then you separate the different key value pairs using commas. Yeah, so that's how you basically write maps. And then to access a value, you have to use the key. So for example, hapa tunataka to access the value of toothpaste, you have to use the key, which is toothpaste. So utasema print items and then specify that key. So so that it prints the value, which will be 5 now. To add an item, you just write items, and then you inside square brackets you add the name of the key you want to add, and then is equals to whatever value you want that key to have. So itaongeza hapa another key value pair of eggs and 30 hivyo. To remove an item, use the key to remove it. So for example, items.remove unga, so itakuja remove this whole thing, itatoka. So I hope it may make sense. And then sets, tumesema sets ni an ordered collection, meaning that this collection is not ordered. So you can't arrange them in a specific way. They don't have to be arranged in a specific way. And then they have to be of unique values, meaning that you cannot duplicate values. They have to be, each of them has to have a unique value. Yeah. So to write a set, you just write set and then you specify the data type and then the name of the set. And then using inside curly braces, you write all the values you want to have. And then to print them out, you just print them out normally. Eh, tumeona add values, you just use the method add, and then you write whatever you want to add over there. So numbers.add 10, ita add a value 10 kwa hii set. Na ukitaka kuremove una specify what value you want to remove. So ukitaka kuremove 2 utakuja specify 2, so 2 itatolewa kwa hii set. And then tumeona set operations. Tukaona kuna 3 ways you can operate a set. You can use union, intersection or difference. Tukasema union ina join all the values of both sets. So itakuja join all the values of this set and all the values of this set into one set, na itatoa all the duplicates. So kama hapa juu kama hapa kwa hii set ni 1 2 3 na 1 3 4 6, so haitaandika 1 mara mbili ama 3 mara mbili, itaandika tu 1 mara moja. So itakuwa 1 2 3 4 na 6. Haita duplicate. So that's how union works. It joins all the values of both sets. Intersection works by taking the value that is in both sets. So itakuja compare kwa hii set A na hii set B, what values are in both sets. Kama hapa ni 1 na 3, so that's what will be printed out. It takes only the values that are in both sets. And then set difference ama difference hapa, it takes all the values that are in the first set but not in the second set. So the first set here ni kenye uta specify hapa. So kama tuseme ungeanzia na B, tunaweza jaribu kuanzia na B then tuende A. So kama hapa kama hapa tuseme our first set hapa ni B, so itakuja iangalie B iseme ione 1 3 4 na 6, na iangalie A ione 1 2 3. So itaangalia what are the values that are in the first set, this set, that are not in the second set. So ita print out 4 na 6, because those are the values that are in the first set but are not in the second set. I hope that makes sense. So let's print it out and see what it gives us. Tunaona imetupia 4 na 6. Yeah. So that's basically it for today. Yeah. I think I am done. And if anyone has a question, you can ask. Anything you want to add, anything you want clarified, so that we can finish our lesson. And in case you have any problems so far, you can also say that. Oh yeah. Stanley is reminding us to push our work to GitHub after the session. So mtu akimaliza make sure amepush to his or her GitHub. Inasaidia tu kuonesha, so that even when employers like look at your GitHub, they can see, oh, you are learning that at this specific time, ama you are doing this and that. It just helps you out a lot. So I don't think I have anything else. Stanley, do you have anything else to add on?
Can we just appreciate Patricia for the presentation and what she has delivered today? Very big thanks. That was good work, Patricia.